President Bola Tinubu has warned the Presidential Election Petition Court that misinterpreting the law as provided in the Constitution on the 25% of lawful votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, could lead to anarchy and alteration of the very intention of the legislature. The president also told the tribunal that the two petitions filed by candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the People's Democratic Party counterpart, that's Atiku Abubakar, seeking the nullification of his victory, were not only novel but not familiar with the country's electoral laws. The president added that the petitions of his opponents failed to prove alleged non-compliance and therefore put his actual votes scored at 8,800,369. The panel had on July the 5th given the respondents in the two separate petitions 10 days to file their written address, while the petitioners were given 7 days to reply. Joining us to speak on this development that has become a bit of a hard nut to crack is the Director General of the Peter Obi Campaign Organization, Mr. Akin Osuntokun. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here on Newsday.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Great. So we've seen reports regarding the response by Labour Party, based on this anarchy statement, that there won't be any anarchy if the current president is removed by the courts. Do you care to buttress on that point?
So why should there be anarchy? Nigeria is a country governed by rule of law. And it's under the rule that if there's going to be a judgment that will not favor any candidate, even if he's the president, that shouldn't result in anarchy. Or want to have a different definition of how a country should be governed. Look, so I don't even want, don't let me go back to that. Are you saying that any pronouncement or judgment of the court, so long as it does not go in one direction, that can result in anarchy? That is not logical to me. I don't know why anybody will say that. You want to predetermine what the judge should say, right? That is not how a country is governed, least of all this election, that we are talking about. We are saying that if something is fraudulent and the judge is so determined and they say, okay, this thing is fraudulent, we will say that it can result in anarchy. That judgment can result in anarchy. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, so besides warning about, it leading to absurdity, chaos, anarchy, like you've said, and of course the alteration of the intention of the very intention of the legislature, he also said that the two petitions filed by your candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and the People's Democratic Party counterpart, Atiku Abubakar, seeking the nullification of his victory, was not only novel, but shows that you are not familiar with the country's electoral laws. What is your response to this?
Now let me read what he said, the lawyer that said that. It was wrong for the petitioners to inch their grouse on the electronic transmission of votes when INEC's electoral laws also contemplated manual transfer of votes as an option. This is what their lawyer has said. The sum total of their responses so far at the court proceedings is hinged on sabotaging, on attacking these electoral beavers and IREF. That is, INEC predicated the credibility of the election. I just read out to you now what the lawyer said. That the option, wanting to dodge, to evade, to say that it doesn't matter if the electronic transmission was not used. Now, 400 or 300 billion naira down the drain. This is what we are being told now. Now, when we are told that what is in this statement those people who contracted these electronic transmission devices, who of course sworn by everyone else that it's going to be the best history in the culture. So if the thing did not perform, it's like a wedding, a bride or a bridegroom not coming to the church on the day of his wedding. And you say that all is well. So as a matter of, it calls for audit, it calls for prosecutorial audit or investigation inquiry. You cannot waste it's double jeopardy. You took hundreds of billions of Nigerians' money to waste on a device that when the most crucial hour came, you somehow told us there was a glitch. Now, Amazing Web Services have contradicted what they said. They didn't have any glitch on the 25th of February. Now, on top of wasting this money, now you are now telling us that, forget what you have spent on it, forget what I have said about Beavers and IRF. I'm at liberty to determine the outcome of it manually. This is what they are telling us. Look, Nigeria was getting to a stage that, let me read to you what the Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University said, Professor Kabiru Bala. It makes me shiver when I hear some of our colleagues say, we are the people who rig elections. I participated in the process and I know what I did. This is a quote from the Vice Chancellor of the Ahmadu Bello University. Let them go and contradict what they have said. The same, look, this INEC has a history of sabotaging itself, of sabotaging what should have been a constructive input. When this idea of retaining university professors to serve as returning officers, when it came newly, it looked good. It was a commendable policy. Now see what this INEC has made of it. Anything this INEC touches, under the chairmanship of this Professor Mahmoud, it turns to dust. It turns to death.
And Mr. Osuntokun,
so you see, it is the same culture.
We have just about a minute and a half with you. So what are Labour Party's next steps in light of this picture that you've painted?
Look, we're in court. I mean, they have given their address. We are going to respond. So that is the next step to what they have said. But the issue before us, of course, is they have shown their true colors. They're threatening anarchy. I remember there was, anyway, I don't want to go back to what our VPC said, the running mate to our presidential candidate, saying that if Nigeria, if a certain is done, we are going to throw Nigeria into constitutional crisis. But here now, everybody rose up in arms. Now we are hearing it. Now, this was an off-cuff remark from the running mate. This is a statement. This is a statement, adopted statement, before the court, under oath, that we are being told that a judgment, a certain kind, a potential judgment of the court will result in anarchy. I've had several interpretations, so I don't know what you think we should make of that. You see, the point is, during the hearings, right, I called two witnesses. The two of them, very low down in the hierarchy of INEC officers. Given the significance of this election that attracted so much attention, hope, from Nigeria and the international community, why wouldn't you think that the chairman of INEC would seize this opportunity to come before the court, to seize the moment, to give an account of everything that has happened? On the contrary, none of them showed up. Not the chairman, even when he was subpoenaed. Not the chairman, not Mr. Okoye, the director of affairs, not the director of ICT, to come and explain to us what happened with the ICT. Omokore. Okay. And I recall that you remember people were saying when this man was appointed, that it's a sympathizer of one of the candidates.
Mr. Akin.
So this is where we are, right? We will be putting the burden of everything on the victim.
We're going to have to bring this interview to a close, but we, of course, understand what you have expressed this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. DG of the Peter Obi Campaign Organization, Akin Osuntokun.